Sweet and Peachy.
Hello and welcome to this week's Sweet and Peachy with me, Lizzie.
And me, Lee, from Lee and the Sweet Life and Foodie Book Club.
This week, I'm really looking forward to this one. We are talking about food catastrophes, of which I have had many. For a bit of background, I did used to be a chef, and I do have some genuine qualifications in food and cooking, but no one is exempt from making massive errors. You only have to watch Great British Menu, Bake Off the Professionals,
I love that.
Professionals. I love
that. My favourite.
But you sit there and you watch it and you're like, how have you made such a monumental screw up? But it makes me feel lots better. I mean, one of my really spectacular fails was when I was about 17, cooking roast beef, which I burnt on the outside, but it was still frozen in the middle.
Why was it in the oven anyway? If it was frozen, why was it in the
I
oven?
was 17. No, I thought it was defrosted. It clearly wasn't. A recent thing as well, which we actually had a chat about on Foodie Book Club Hour the other night.
Oh God, yeah.
So I'm gluten-free, which is boring.
Is it pain?
So I saw a recipe to make homemade pizza base without yeast using self-raising flour and yogurt. Brilliant. So I made the normal ones for the rest of the family who are not gluten-free. And I could only get hold of rice flour. Gluten-free flour has been really hard to get hold of. So I was like, I'm sure it'll be fine. So I mixed my rice flour with my yogurt. Oh, holy mother of God, it was not okay. It came out and it was like this hard biscuit thing. It was very, very white, and it tasted like soap.
Oh God!
I don't know. I scraped off all the toppings and I ate the toppings and just put the base in even the dogs wouldn't eat it.
That's something the dogs. But I use that recipe, self-raised flour and yogurt, the Greek yogurt, to make wraps from when I do like koftas and things. So it works really well.
Yeah.
But I would never use. I mean, have you used gram flour?
No.
Use that for everything. But that's not very nice if it tastes like soap, darling, is it?
No, I had a mouthful. I was like, oh my God, it looks like that. I'm sure it tastes better than it looks.
I remember you talking about that.
Mum, this is amazing. It's like a pizza from the shop. And I'm like, yeah, mine is terrible. Thanks, guys.
But in Foodie Book Club, people will take the mickey out of you for that. Because I think they expect us to know what we're talking about, actually.
I'm very honest. I was like, no, I really, really messed that up. And then a very lovely lady did share a recipe that I cannot wait to try. Yes.
Saw it.
So I screenshotted it and I'm going to try it next week when my food shop's been delivered.
I love that hour, I love that hour. Although I get a bit overwhelmed by when people are,
a lot of it.
Yeah, and I'm going from back. I'm going to have to talk to you about which ones you use because I'm back at Anyway, it's getting better. People should join us, on that because it's really good. It's getting bigger. Lots of.
It is. We've got all sorts of people involved now, and I love it.
Lots of discounts too. Discounts.
Well, I was talking. I think you probably saw my tweet earlier. I've been talking to Deborah Mingo, and she's doing some presents for my bridesmaids.
I saw.
I missed the discount, but hey, it's by the by.
Did she offer you the discount? Did she not offer it? Did she not just offer it you anyway?
No.
We never get any perks, do we?
No. But I have spent an absolute fortune with Love's Vintage. Yeah. Selena, she is such a lovely lady. I now own probably most of her earrings. And again, I bought bits to go. I'm doing like a little miniature hamper of gifts for my bridesmaids. So they've got like just little bits that I know that they will love and that are particular to them. And I can't say too much because I know they'll watch this.
I hope they're watching this.
No, they do, don't worry, because they always comment on it. But yes, so Foodie Book Club for me is amazing because it's, we've had Subitech sponsor. I have one of their power banks. In fact, it's actually here. It is amazing. Who else have we had sponsoring? Whispers of Wood was this week.
I'm sorry, I've interrupted because I'm always interrupting you, aren't I? Sorry, it's just who I am. She's used to it, right? So, you know, I used to see their boards with the blues and everything, and now because of the discount, I must get this before next Wednesday. It was in the basket before I even had the discount out, because it's just been sitting there going, oh, I thought I'm going to use it for the next thing I'm writing on, you know, for the magazine. I just can't.
You can use it for that feature. You should.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
I want one of the knives for my food photography, because I do quite a bit for a particular cheese maker. So that knife would be amazing. I love it. And, you know, like seed chocolate, for example, I ordered loads of their chocolate.
I know you did.
I know, I'm not really into sweet stuff, but theirs is the really proper, like 70%.
Did you just say you didn't share it, did you?
No. In fairness, I couldn't because it was lockdown.
That's
But I highly recommend. There was like a fruit and nut type thing, and it was amazing. And they did I had a pink gin one that I was less keen on, which I thought it would have been, but it was just a bit bitter for me. But it smelled incredible. It literally, it smelled so good. The toasted white chocolate. I don't like white chocolate. That was amazing.
Gorgeous.
So good. And salt, sea salt and chili as well.
I have to say, I haven't had any chocolate or crisps since May. It's killing me.
I don't know why. It's just weird.
It was just one of those things that you go, oh, come on, and then you just sort of like, it's now ongoing, and that's, I'm thinking, well, this is July. Hopefully I can get through July and August.
Why though? Like, why? Like, you know, I'm not that bothered about chocolate, but if you said to me I couldn't eat crisps, I love like lentil crisps and things like that.
That's the thing I'm missing. Like, crisps. I would, and I'm not take a couple of out and then leave it. I get the big packs, film with a dip. Yeah, with a dip. Watch it, and that's.
Oh my god. Dip it
shut up, yeah. And that could be me. That I would eat that as a meal, you know what I mean? Just sit there with a huge bag. People would go, I need to take a crisp, and I put it out, put it away. What the heck? Get off. I don't believe you. No,
that doesn't happen in our house.
No.
I mean, like, I buy celery, not because I'm healthy, but because it's a really good scoop for borscht.
Yes, it's a vessel. It's a vessel. Do you lick the cheese off like that? Do you lick the cheese off?
Put it back in. It's only me eating it.
Yeah.
Josh is dairy free, so it's fine. Anyway.
So we're dreadful. Okay.
I know.
Something else that went wrong then, because I've got a few cakey things.
So another, and this one was when I was at school and doing food technology. My mother, not great at organisation. I had to get some flour to take to school for this. Right. I was doing a cake.
Yeah.
Nothing was labelled. It was in tub. I was like, this will be fine. Took it. Made my cake. No. I used plain flour, not realising. So it was like this sweet, oily lump. It tasted okay, but it looked horrendous. And the consistency was just like set batter. It was not good. No. Because obviously, had I known, I'd have put some baking powder in it and it would have fixed the problem. But yeah, no, it was not good. My cooking teacher was like, and my sister.
Can I just stop? You know, when we can get together, we should cook together and film it.
Yes, we should. Oh, that's going to be a podcast.
Go on, carry on.
Yeah, my sister, I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this. Sorry, Chloe, love you.
She's used to it on Beauty Book Club Hour. She's always been taking the mickey off. Hello.
She's used to it. She's also a bridesmaid, so she's getting some mint gifts. She I can't remember what the dish was she had to make, but basically it was something pastry based, always like sausage rolls or quiche or something. And she accidentally used sweet pastry.
Oh, bless her.
I know. And apparently they looked really good, but obviously totally inedible because I love my sister, honestly. She's amazing. She's so clever. She's talented. Cooking.
She's smart, isn't she?
She's very, very smart.
Smart as in smart.
Yeah.
Like,
she was on the gifted and talented register when she was at primary school. That's
really?
How smart she is.
Yeah. I was in the dance class when I was in primary school.
See, I was okay. Because she's one of those people that's like, you know, really attractive, really clever, really nice.
Yeah.
I really want to not like you, but I can't. Yeah. You're just so nice.
I just, you know, it's not fair. Is it some people born with talent and we haven't got any?
I know, but like, I don't know, but we are very similar in a lot of ways, apart from.
You know you're not. So tell you one of the worst things I remember, and it wasn't mine. I'll tell you about mine in a minute. But I can remember going to I won't say who it is, but I went. It was a Christmas lunch, and we were all there, and I've got to say who it is. Anyway, it was some form of in-law, right? And anyway, we went for Christmas lunch, and we stayed a few days beforehand. And you know, you can smell something. You think, well, is it? It's a bit strange. Christmas Day, turkey gets in the oven, right? And as it goes in the oven, I think I can smell, and that's the turkey. She'd left the turkey out to defrost for like a week. This turkey had been out for a week, so the smell was like rotting.
On the side?
Yeah, on the side. Yeah, on the side. Just out, right?
Oh.
So I said, I'm not going to eat that. I'm not going to cook this. So anyway, somebody from the family took it to the shop and told them it was their fault and got a refund. I know. On Christmas Day, they did it.
How was it even open?
It was the most putrid smell I've ever. That's thing, yeah. But that's the worst.
Recently, we like to buy our meat from the butchers, and we did recently. Obviously, when lockdown kind of first happened, and I was out at a supermarket anyway, because there was certain stuff I just needed to get that I couldn't get locally. And I bought this chicken, and it was this corn-fed chicken. So I thought, you know what, it's from a supermarket, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Corn-fed, organic, whatever. And it had about a week's date left on it when I came to cook it. And I put it in the oven, and I was like, it smells a bit weird.
It smells sweet. It has a sweet smell, doesn't it?
It was odd, yeah. And then there was this, like Josh had been out somewhere. I can't remember where he'd been, but he came in and he was like, babe, what's that smell? I was like, I think it's the chicken. And then I went to get it out of the oven so we could inspect. And honestly, the second we opened the door, we were like, what? So I had to run to the local co-op and get a gammon joint. We had that because obviously it was a Sunday, so the butcher wasn't open. The smell of it. So if that had been out for a week.
A week, honestly, and it was sick. Have you ever burnt your eyelashes off?
Not my eyelashes, but my eyebrow and my fringe, yeah. Oh, hello.
Hi.
He gone.
Oh, wait, no. Hello, that's Josh. Hello, Josh. I burnt my eyelashes off. I was doing a kids' party, and I opened the oven, and it was a gas oven, and there was something wrong with the gas oven, actually. So otherwise, I opened the oven, and the whole thing had a blowback, and there was this huge ball of fire came out of this thing, and I had no eyelashes and no eyebrows for about a couple of months. I've never been so scared in my life. In all the bottom of my front of my hair was all sizzled. Stop it! It was all sizzled. So yeah,
you're so lucky. That could have been so bad.
I know. Why are you laughing then? Why are you laughing?
That's the way I tell them. Do you know though? Like, as a really naughty, badly behaved teen, smoking when I was like 13, thinking I was like all hip. I did once lean down to light a cigarette, and my fringe caught fire. But then it set fire to my eyebrow, and I'm like, oh my god! That took a bit of explaining when I got home. It was a candle.
I've taken cakes. I've had, when I used to make big cakes, I've had a few.
You didn't just make cakes, though, did you? You made show-stopping, incredible, off the scale cakes. Yeah.
Well, I remember. Actually, surprisingly few disasters when you do stuff like that, because the more you do them, the more you just get used to stopping the disaster before it happens. So you can see it sort of happening and go, well, I'll just do this, right? So, but there was a couple of things. One, when we had the place, there was no air conditioning, so the place was you'd sweat, it was just awful, which is not good for fondant, right? For really fondant, water fondant, not good, right? So my lovely Mr. G thought he'd do me a wonderful favour and bought me a humidifier, and it was my fault because I chose it. So I put the water into the humidifier, right? Already you're thinking, why did she do that, right? So anyway, I put the water into the humidifier. Yeah, made this cake, which was a handbag cake, so it's supposed to be standing up like that, okay? left it. It was delivered first thing next morning. So went away, all done, ready, right? Had a fan on it, nice, which is what I normally did. Went away. Blah, blah. Morning, it had fallen over, and it was just like, you touch the font, it was like this. So something on me, that the water I'd put into this humidifier was actually being pushed out into the air.
You needed a dehumidifier.
Yes. So it was like raining. It was like raining on my cakes. So I had to ring this person up and say, I'm really sorry. And I had to make the whole thing from scratch. It's interesting. I made that whole cake, baked it, filled it, decorated it, everything, ganached it, whole thing in an hour and delivered it.
How was it cool enough to do all of that with?
I know. I don't know. So that was one. And so that was my fault because I was shooting water in the air. The one that almost made us, Mr. G made this, delivered this cake for me to the local thing because I was doing another cake. And so he came, and it was a cake which had two chocolate champagne glasses on the top. Right, it was a 50th birthday. It was gorgeous. The whole cake was gorgeous. It was one of my favourite, right? And two chocolate, which they had to stand up like this, but she wanted the old-fashioned ones. They're like glasses that do that. What they're called? The ones.
They're like goblets, aren't they? Almost.
Yeah.
Like black goblets.
Yeah, and she wanted them standing up on the top. Well, normally I would make them separately. Well, I did make them separately and put them on one of there, but because Mr. G was delivering, I thought I'll put them on. So as he was taking it out of the car, it fell off onto the floor. And I hope she's not watching this, right? Well, she won't be, right? We've only got 20 subscribers, so she's not going to be watching this, right? And he came back and said, he made some excuse saying, oh, I've left the thing in the shop. And he came back with the whole thing, and I had to sort of glue it with wet chocolate and everything. So that was a bit of a heart thing, It's the delivery. It's the delivery that's the worst. When you carry in.
I had a conversation with somebody somebody's husband and his wife. She has a cake business, not quite the showstoppers that you did, but beautiful cakes, like really well made, amazing ingredients, whatever. And I said, I wouldn't want the pressure of doing it anyway, but the delivery would just be.
It is awful. Mr. G and I, we deliver together. I wouldn't speak to him by the end of it. I'm not talking to him by the time we got there. Don't move, don't do that. Have you seen that? Don't breathe. And the ones that I've got, the ones that have like moving parts on, because I used to make them with like moving parts. So you'd have a motor inside. Yeah, a motor inside the cake and something on top of it and everything. So you have to sort of assemble it when you're there. But you can only assemble so much when you're there, otherwise you'd be there like for hours. So some of the things have to be hanging off it. So, and I used to have this thing called memory cakes. So it's just things hanging off the cake. Oh, it's horrible. Never again.
I think I'll stick to PR and marketing. A lot less stressful, I think. But yeah. So, what have you done wrong in like your own cooking? So, because obviously you cook a lot anyway as a job.
I do.
But when you've been cooking for like you and Mr. G or the family, what's gone wrong?
You're waiting for me to say this, aren't you? You're waiting for me to say, Yorkshire puddings. I knew you were Yorkshire blueprint, right? And I swear to God, right? I have tried. And you know what? When you say that, people, they always come back with, have you tried this? Have you tried? Yes, I bloomin' have. I've tried hot ovens. I've tried the steaming fat. I've tried sitting it. I've tried not sitting it. I've tried how many eggs? I've tried this. I was watching James Martin, who is just like one of my gods, right?
I love James Martin.
Oh, I want to meet him. I think I'll go, anyway.
Oh, I have a tray of ingredients.
Shut.
Here you go. I was like a puddle.
And he's had this thing on Saturday morning. He's got the Saturday morning kitchen thing. And he made this, toad in the hole. 8 eggs he put in it.
He uses a lot of eggs in his recipe. I use 1 egg to 2 heaped tablespoons of plain flour. So I know, obviously, I have sent you the recipe that I use, which, in fairness, touch wood, this is my table I'm hitting, has never failed. But there are so many variables, and like there's so many things that people do wrong. Like I believe in using lard, but obviously that's not going to work if you're a veggie. Equally, why are we eating Yorkshire puddings anyway? They're for roast dinners.
They are.
Hot oven, heating your oil before you pouring it in, like literally so it goes as it goes in. I always stand my mixture. I try to make it the day before. And one of the big things is, you'll know all about this.
Out of the fridge or in the fridge?
I leave it in the fridge, but I take it out for a good hour or so before I cook it.
Okay.
Because your eggs need to be elastic.
Uh-huh.
But I say you'll know about this because obviously from your experience baking and obviously just being chefy, gluten, stretching the gluten, which obviously I have to use gluten-free flour, so it's a little bit more tricky. But you know, that's one of the reasons you should stand it, because obviously you have to beat it to an extent, get it all combined, but then your flour is literally like, ugh.
And I stand it. I do all that, and I don't know what it is. I have to say, it got so bad that when Mr. G and I lived in the States, we didn't have a lot to do, bless us, right? Weekends, it was just us. So we had this whole weekend of experimenting with Yorkshire puddings. What,
sexually or?
Yes.
Like, I'm wearing a Yorkshire pudding, darling.
Over there, they have a similar thing called poppers, which is basically Yorkshire pudding, but it grows long. I don't know. It's like, and so we did the whole. We'll have it this temperature. We had mixtures and doing different things. That's how bad it got. Honest to God.
It's amazing. At that point, I would have given up and bought an Aunt Bessie's.
Well, I have Aunt Bessie's in my freezer. That's what I use. I know.
In fairness, as much as I turn my nose up, they actually taste really good.
I love them. Yeah.
Previously, when I've been single, and like if the kids haven't been at home, I'm not going to do a roast dinner with a Yorkshire pudding just for me. So I'll do the roast dinner because then I can turn the leftover into curry or whatever else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have used Aunt Bessie's, and I've actually been to the Aunt Bessie's factory.
Oh, again, stop it!
It's amazing. It's the same people own it as own Jackson's bread.
Oh, okay.
Yorkshire's champion or Yorkshire champion bread, whatever it is. And in a previous work life, I used to have quite a lot to do with them. So yeah, I went to the factory. It was beautiful. Absolutely, smell is amazing.
Oh God, don't.
And do you know what? Weirdly, all the girls, well, I said there was only girls in their marketing team at the time. They were so skinny. How? I'd be the size of a house.
No, I see. That's it. Yeah, it's not fair though. It's not fair that you can make Yorkshire puddings like that. Having said that, my mum could make Yorkshire puddings like standing on her head. It's like, this is where I got it from. All my sisters can make Yorkshire puddings, I think.
Oh.
But my mum never used to be able to make scones. My scones are like this. I don't know, but her scones are like plates of whatever. I don't know. So I think some people, what is it you can't make? Because some people it's just, I don't know. Some people just can't do stuff like making Yorkshire puddings.
I mean, I really struggle to cook eggs. But that's like, sounds ridiculous. I don't eat runny yolk. So I can't, honestly. And it stems back to a childhood memory, and that's a story we won't go into.
No soldiers are Oh, what the heck?
So I have a lazy microwave egg poacher because I love like ham, eggs, and hollandaise.
Yeah.
Fancy. But I do them in the microwave because I like my yolks.
You like them hard?
Mm-hmm.
You don't cut them open and they all run over you?
Honestly, the thought of it literally makes me gip. I cannot deal with yolk.
Everybody else think that she's weird with this.
Like I sent a picture of a breakfast I made the other week to my friend because I bash my yolk and then flip my egg over if I'm doing a fried egg. My friend was like, "You have butchered that egg."
Not right. So something about, when you see these videos and they put a knife into it and it goes, I go, oh.
No, so with a chocolate fondant, brilliant. With a yolk, I'm vomiting in the bin.
You see, what you're missing though is getting that whole cooked egg yolk in your mouth and then popping it in your mouth.
Honestly, literally, I'm like, I can't. No.
Gorgeous feeling. It's fabulous. And then the whole warm stuff runs down your throat. It's gorgeous.
Just to clarify, we're talking about egg yolk.
Oh yeah.
It said Josh loves runny yolk, so if I'm doing a breakfast for us, I have to cook him. Because to be fair, ordinarily he actually cooks the breakfast. He's a really, really good cook. But if it's me doing it and I'm there like, don't know what to do with this egg. And I used to work in commercial kitchens and I can't cook a fried egg. And I'm there like, how long do I cook it for? Like, what do I do? What do I cook it in? Because I annihilate my eggs.
Well, this is it. If you don't like something, it's less easy to cook it well. This is the thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more because you're not tasting it and knowing what it should
Well, tonight, for example,
Oh.
we're because I'm on a mission to try and like fish.
I saw that.
Yes, I need to for health
It's
purposes.
coming out there again. No runny eggs, and you don't like fish.
No,
That's
do
like,
you know what though? Literally, my mother used to try and hide it, and
Oh.
I just, even as a baby, I would spit it out. I'd retch. I can't. I've never been able to eat it.
You're not one of these people like you do on this cooking program that we both like to watch. Tell me what the name is again. Come Down With Me.
Down with me.
Where they go, oh, I don't like fish. It's too fishy. What the hell is that? It's fishy. It's fish.
Yeah, well, no, literally any fish, like whether it's tuna, cod, haddock. I've tried so much over the years, and I would love to like it because
Shellfish.
it's so good for you.
Shellfish.
I've
Like
tried
shellfish,
all: oysters,
crab,
mussels, scallops, crab, lobster, everything.
You're weird.
But I've taken advice from friends who love fish, and tonight we are having. Josh is not impressed because he also does not like fish. I'm making, it's not a paella, but it's like a deconstructed paella. So cooked rice, and on top of that, I'm doing like a really garlicky tomato sauce with chorizo and putting some prawns in.
Yeah.
My thought being, the taste of everything else will probably mask the taste of the prawns.
But you could cut the prawns up, you know.
When I bought them, I was looking at them in the pack like, and I've also bought 2 fillets of salmon. So I'm going to do those in foil and bake them with like ginger and chili and lime.
That's a really good way of doing it. You don't like sushi or anything like that?
Honestly, any fish, the texture, the taste, the smell, even if I see like on adverts for bird's eye, you know, when they like break apart a bit of fish, you see the flakes, I'm like, no, I can't.
I'm so shocked. I mean, I've been watching you on Twitter, and you know, and I think you mentioned it in the Food Book Club Hour or something as well. There, like you had a picture of.
I was talking about my prawns.
And I'm going, what the heck? Because I mean, I'm not. I love fish, but I'm not really. We don't really get. Mr. G eats a lot of fish, so we have a lot, right? But I love getting a side of salmon and making gravlax. I love that.
I've seen the recipe. At some point, if
So
I get
easy.
into it, I'm going to make it.
It is awesome, honestly. And also, and what else was I going to say? My own like fish cakes and things, you know, fish fingers with cod. I like making my own rather than get.
Do you know what though? I cook it for my kids because just because I don't like it doesn't mean that they shouldn't have it. But the thing is, when it's cooking, you know, when you buy like I always buy the good quality, like the bird's eye, you know, the 100% fish fingers, like the fancy ones, not the terrible mince, like
there's a nice one, isn't there?
But it still smells fishy. And when they're cooking, I'm literally there like, and I can only do fish fingers for them if I'm not eating with them. So like, if there's a night where like we'll try and get a date night when the kids have gone to bed or something, they'll have fish fingers, and I'll do them like homemade baked wedges, and I'll do loads of veg and whatever.
I know you cook good things for your kids.
But like, I can't sit and eat a meal with them when they're eating fish fingers. Because the smell of it, honestly, my stomach is just churning.
I cannot believe you have not experienced, right? Lovely, big, thick bread, white bread, with really good quality fish fingers, like make your own or have some good one, with butter and sauce, brown sauce and red sauce, and then a nice squidgy egg on top.
I mean, I feel like you describe my actual hell. But like I say, I want to get into liking it. And the plan is I would do, because obviously, like I say, Josh is dairy free, I'm gluten free. So I would make homemade batter with the appropriate ingredients and stuff, and do like homemade nice fish goujons to put in sandwiches and things.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to learn to like it first.
Yeah.
If anyone's got any tips for how to learn to like something that you hate that actually makes you vomit, please let me know.
I think you're going about it the right way, though, adding flavours to it. And
that's my thought.
Yeah, and salmon is quite oily. It's quite oily in a nice way. It's good for you, right? But
that's what I'm thinking. I have really bad eczema. I have really weak bones. I have a lot of problems with like my body's just knackered, basically. If I was a horse, I'd be glue. So like eating fish is probably really important. I'm missing quite a lot of stuff. When I have my blood tests, they come back and like, deficient in this, and this. I'm like, and I take vitamins. But obviously, fish is one of the best ways to get everything I'm missing. Because I don't think my cod liver oil capsules are really cutting it. So I need to sort myself out.
Yeah, well,
But anyway, we've massively digressed from food protection fees. It's become a therapy session.
I know. What are we doing next week?
So I'm looking forward to this one because
I'm excited.
it's very topical and
Yeah.
there's going to be quite a few different things involved, but we're going to be talking about coming out of lockdown.
Yes.
So kind of what lockdown involved, what's happening now, and our thoughts on it, because certain things are legal.
Yes.
Some are legal requirement, and some things are just like opinion or whatever, but I'm really excited.
And I have an opinion about face masks.
You have an opinion about everything.
That's true, actually.
And that is why I love you. But yes, so we are going to have a good chat. I mean, I had to go to a shop yesterday wearing my face mask because they wouldn't let me in without it. And I was like, it's not a legal requirement yet. And I feel like a knob. But
I get annoyed when I go out and they're not wearing face masks. And somebody said to me the other day, well, I'm not contagious. I said, yes, but I might be. And I might give it to you. And they went, oh.
Well, the issue I've got, I mean, we're digressing here, but I will very quickly say it, is I have read, and I don't know if it's true or not, because obviously false news and whatever else, but if you've got breathing problems, so obviously I have asthma, you shouldn't wear a mask because it can actually be worse for you.
However, doctors wear them all the time.
Don't know. But yeah, so, I mean, as I say, I wear one anyway. I'd like to be careful.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was just a bit like, I'm an idiot. And it seems like my glasses as well.
I know, and I don't know what's right and what's wrong, and this is the thing, because we're not getting enough information, and I'm going to stop talking now because otherwise we'll just go into it and then it'll be like,
right. So, and we will see you next week. And yes, subscribe, otherwise Lee's going to cry.
I know, please. Okay.
See you later.
Bye.
Sweet and peachy.